1/3 of all my leads come from LinkedIn.
What is your advice to those who are really afraid of losing their job because of AI?
If you're relying on a routine job, which is you don't need creativity, you don't need to think like a human, you will be replaced. The demand for seniors will be more than before, that's for sure.
People who are not in IT, who are not in development, they ask questions like, how do I get into AI development? What's your advice for them? With the rise of AI, we see so many new and trending job opportunities, posts, advice, do's and don'ts. Today, we have an expert who will share his wisdom with us about AI, how to find a job, how to get started, and everything about low code. Hi, Vasken.
Hi, Sirarpi.
Please tell us. Thank you. Please tell us what you do and why you do it.
So currently what I'm doing is not only AI, but the whole process automation. And it has become a trend, I would say, in small to mid-sized companies where they want to digitalize. The digital transformation is another keyword you see on social platforms and search, and everything is automated. And the AI is so much blended into all these tools. So it's not just prompt engineering, is how and where to use AI into these platforms. So my background comes from traditional software. Uh, I was studying engineering and I switched to computer science back in the early 2008, where I got my first job in Adobe Flash. Back then it was a thing. Maybe it was one of the first no-code tools or low-code tools where we had scripting. So, and then I did 8 years of game development. And then I came to Armenia. I started my agency 2018, traditional software company, where we built websites and mobile apps. Then I realized it's becoming more of a hiring, like a recruitment company. We were giving our experts to bigger companies, but I enjoyed tech. I wanted to be building products myself, be in the game, not just, do the business part, but do the technical part. And it was the rise of no code. All the companies were just adopting these new systems, which maybe we'll cover a bit more detailed in a few minutes. And then it was the right timing, I guess. 2022, I took the decision to switch to this industry, which is now we call it workflow design or process automation with AI, definitely. And it has tripling every year. The demand is going up, and we're fully busy and we're expanding, and it's an exciting space.
Yeah. So you just realized what is going to be trending in the future, and you tapped into this market to be one of the first adopters. That's a very good strategy.
It was some research, so I was following what's coming next, and not every topic is super exciting because Web3 was also another topic which was rising, all the cryptos. And then I found this like it's a must. Every company will 100% go to this direction. There's no way, there's no escape from the AI world now in tech.
Yeah, I see lots of questions from people who are not in IT, who are not in development. They ask questions like, "How do I get into AI development?" What's your advice for them?
Yeah, this is a great question because you can go the technical route and you can go your expertise route. So I can give an example. I know a smart woman. Her name is Nikki, and she's been into hiring for 15 years. And now she is studying, analyzing what she can do and adopting AI. But the focus is what we already used to do with the modern technologies, not becoming the expert which we implement. Maybe she can have a project where she needs to set up a hiring system. She may get help from an expert who is the technical person, but you need to know the industry. Still, the human factor is there. Similar to any like a construction company, you need the expertise of that domain of that area, and then you implement AI alone. So you don't become an AI expert. You know your business, and then you adapt to the new environment, to the new tech. You know.
Mm-hmm. So if I want to become an AI developer, it's better if I am already in development. I know development very well.
You can become an AI developer, or you can, like what I'm doing is more of a business consulting and the development because I'm trying to be first. I'm doing like a hybrid role. I collect the requirements. I do the analysis. We draw process maps. What do you want to automate and why you want to automate? It's not like automation is cool, but if it's not done properly, it's just cool. Then it has to be effective. How much time you're saving, how many hours per week you're saving with implementing this. And then I'm doing the implementation with a small team. We're growing to a small team. Now, a person can start a business with mastering an industry, understanding the tools, but not doing the actual implementation. So there are more opportunities than just the technical side. You can be the business analyst side of things. You can be the product because it's kind of similar to software building, but you need different roles. Any traditional development company, you don't have just developers. You have the product team, you have the QAs, you have a lot of other experts, the designers, the user experience, the product side. So it's kind of similar. You can jump into the industry and finding what you like. Because even if AI is technical, but I don't write code right now. I don't write to develop AI. I use, for example, make.com, which has open AI, the same as ChatGPT modules. And you can do API integrations without writing code. So there are new opportunities.
What is the difference between low code, no code AI and like the usual stuff? We hear
So,
this more often. So what is the
yeah,
deal?
many of the tools have AI embedded into them. So if even if you have tools like project management, let me tell some popular names. You may think of Monday or ClickUp, any of those types of tools, which are project management, which they have some customization. You can customize it according to your business needs. To more generic tools, which the most I use, like Smart Suite and Airtable, but my go-to tool is Smart Suite. And these tools are kind of not ready-made solution and not custom code. They sit in between. You have the full power of customization. You're 10 times or maybe even 15 times faster. And low code, the term low code is, you may need a little bit of code at certain places. Majority of the job is done by visual, what people call it visual programming. So you need to understand the business logic and why it's fast because you don't need to worry about the server, the hosting, and all the small details which could be time consuming and painful and very technical with coding. Now you have all the platforms and they are rising, so they are becoming perfect tools to build custom tool systems versus, for example, Jira was only meant for project management, and specifically it's more common in IT project management versus with SmartSuite. You can do that. You can do agriculture. So I know a guy from New Zealand who has a farm and he manages his farm with SmartSuite. So the options, like you have any business process, you build your system within weeks, not years or 6 months or so. You're more fast. And now blending AI is easy. Like we use Make to pull data from SmartSuite. Let's say you have this month the crops, you compare to the previous month, you do any type, you send the information to AI and AI analyzes. They may give you, AI can give you advice or decision making or anything you would like you can think of example cases where anything is possible. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So how important is automation for your clients on a scale of 1 to 10? And what are the like success stories behind it?
Yeah, automation is more like time saving, not doing the boring work, not doing the work which the engine, the system, and it's affordable because, you know, for example, Make charges like $10 per month for the first plan. It has 10,000 operations. With that, you can do multiple automations. Just a small example. If I need to charge my client, I can just, with the click of a button, for sure the system knows the client, all the information is in the system already, and you just write the number. and the PDF with the signature all is sent to the client with the copy saved in Drive. So I was thinking this is like 20-minute or 15, 20-minute administrative task. And if I have like 6 invoices per month, so a simple automation you set up once and then now you've saved 4 hours. The next are NDAs, you just have the client information. So all the administrative work. Now, if a company needs 5 full-timers for a certain job. Now, some jobs are replaced, but it's not the case. Some new jobs are created. That's the other debate which we're having. But you're letting humans do things which the machine isn't doing yet. So, and then anything which is like a routine, why? And if you think of it, why we have to do the same thing over and over and over again, with and it's so much satisfying to click a button and 15 things are happening, and then the client received the email personalized. They don't even realize it's an automated email with the attachments and all the links, everything necessary. And you saved another. So eventually, clients end up, especially CEOs and decision makers, if they can save up to 10, 20 hours per week. So they are like almost doubling their productivity. So they really care about, gaining back their time.
Mhm. So you also mentioned that AI is killing some jobs. What is your advice to those who are really afraid of losing their job because of AI? I personally gained a lot from this rise of AI because I automated lots of my tasks, but I wasn't laid off because of that. What is your advice to those who were affected by this rise of AI?
Um, I think eventually people will lose some jobs, or they will act smart and change. But this is not something you can force them or you can oppose the market. So the market, it has been all over the history the same. Cars have been created early 1900s or late 1800s, and then there are stories of the horseshoe maker, ironsmiths were jobless for a certain period, and then now self-driving cars are coming. You know how many, a few million drivers there are only in China. So what those 1 million people or more than 1 million will do, they have to adapt. There will be some shift, but the little scary thing, I think, is it's faster than people think. Now they take it for granted, but you don't see it. Like in 3 years, 30% or more, I don't know, there are different websites, they place stats are gone. So everyone tells it this is nothing, I'm just inventing, like focus on the human skills. And that's the good part. People will appreciate that, the creativity part. So if you're relying on a routine job, which is you don't need creativity, you don't need to think like a human, you will be replaced. But if you have your creativity, your human factor, your soft skills, empathy, you talk to humans, you understand, all those skills will be appreciated more than ever before. So talking of percentages, the numbers are big. So in 10 years, there is an estimation of about quarter or more, like 30% of jobs. But many of those people will adopt because it's not that fast. We have like a few years that this is happening already. It has been 2 years, and there were layoffs. There were cases, but many people adopted. So many people just started to move on. Let's see, because it's moving faster than we can predict, I think.
Mhm. How do I know what is coming? How do I adapt?
How do you know what's coming? So it's kind of just imagine what we have, just moving faster than this year. So next year it will be more things coming than the previous year. So it's kind of not exponential, but I don't know, it's faster. And if you are a constant learner, you're following what's the trend and you're adopting your, as I repeated myself. So there is no fear. More like people who aren't in tech, who are already doing a job which was like 10 years ago. People knew the self-driving cars, it's nothing. And then Gary Vaynerchuk, probably you know him. So he was telling I told you 10 years ago that you will be jobless because of this technology. So just be aware of that. Do not have a career plan of driving for the next 20 years. So if you're doing this for the next 5 years, that's good. But again, content writing, you can be like I know, and you know him well, Matthew, for example. He's a great content writer. So the people who are really good enough in what they do, I don't see any reason because still, no matter how much AI does, his skills are appreciated. I think the people who aren't good enough, so the threat is more on the junior level, and this raises the standards. Now, every company's expectation is the bars they are putting like way up because the simple things AI is doing, so humans will be also be we have more pressure to deliver more quality, better everything because the boring things are gone away. Now focus on what you do best, and you have to do it great. You have to do it perfectly.
Hmm. So juniors and those who want to tap into this IT industry are under threat, and only seniors can be like
Um,
more adaptable.
Probably not under threat, but I mean, the demand for seniors will be more than before. That's for sure. So it was the case that in the peak times where, after COVID, immediately the rise of technical experts, and then there was a slowdown because of these no-code tools, AI, global politics, and many different reasons. Yeah, like 2022 was less demand than 2021 because post-COVID, every company just shifted. But now, after some years pass by, and now all the standards will go up, even the expectations from juniors or mids will be more. So you have to work on your craft, on your skills, on your human skills more. I think it will increase quality, but demand more expertise from everyone, from every level.
Yeah. Last time we spoke, you mentioned that you had certain challenges during COVID. How did it shape your career like today? And did you think that you would have such growth during those depressive times?
Yeah, one of the things I learned is that's a simple business rule, I guess. So liabilities, which you may create. We had a big office in Bakalian Center, about $2,000 rent. Now I'm fully remote. So, and if I think now all those years with that high of a rent, maybe it's not high for the U.S. market, but if you're giving out 25,000 per year for office rent, and then you can avoid that. Now I'm in Wood Center, the co-working place, and I have people working with me. Everyone is I don't know where, probably I don't know their country. So yeah, I have someone in Armenia, someone from Europe. So it's all we doesn't. So that's something. And then the business model I changed to is subcontracting, which is I don't have fully registered people right now. It's subcontracting model. So I just give like work based on hourly basis or so. Kind of the risk of business is way low, and then the other factor was it was quantity based back then. What I was doing is my personal experience. We reached to 27, a team of 27 back then, counting the freelancers outside Armenia, maybe we were 30 something, which is risky. The profit margins were less. Now I'm trying to focus on some different type of expertise, try to be always in the business. A lot of things I do myself and just increasing the prices so that it's not, I don't need 12 projects to make 10,000 per month. I just need one or two high margins, just with increasing the prices you have to increase the approach. It's not just so now it's more like less quantity, making sure 100% we over deliver. That's something. And then let me not take 5 projects, let me take 3, but let them refer. So it's kind of yeah, I changed from mass production, let's say, to less quantity. And if you can believe, like with 3 people, the profit was the same or even more with 25 people. So there was something with the business model. And then the other factor is, as I mentioned, this is much more demanding right now. It's the right time, as if you had a traditional IT company in 2005, let's say. there was less competition. So just becoming an early adopter is an advantage. And that's another little story about SmartSuite, which yeah, I want to share. So SmartSuite is a tool which I figured out in October or November 2022. It's almost, yeah, 2 years ago, just right 2 years and 2 months ago. I knew about Airtable, which is the direct competitor. They both are great tools. SmartSuite was very new, and it back then I don't know if it had a market, but there was no demand for experts. And I knew people who were early adopters in Airtable did very well financially, and their agencies grew. And I know the stories. Like there is this popular YouTuber, Garrett. He's one of the very early adopters of Airtable, and he has a big, you know, very successful agency. So, and many others, I know from that industry. I thought, well, SmartSuite is a great product. It's a bet, it's a prediction, which it will be one of the leading products, and it is today. SmartSuite is crushing the market. They are releasing features, and everyone is loving it. So there is the customer feedback. So it was like a prediction to trust the tool because I need to brand myself as the go-to guy for SmartSuite. Everyone else was doing like several tools, just trying to be safe, not placing all their eggs in one basket. And my risk was most of my eggs in one basket, but I was kind of pretty confident that this tool is going somewhere, it's going to succeed. I met with their founders. They were, amazing people with tons of experience, a lot of success history, and they weren't 25-year-old startups which they are trying something, so they knew exactly with some enough, more than enough capital backing them. So it was a clear thing to me to choose that route. And then once SmartSuite started becoming popular, you search and not so many people are available to help you. So that was like the opportunity I could grab at the right time. Now there are many experts, but whoever starts earlier, we have the advantage.
Yeah. You are very active on LinkedIn. You post lots of useful stuff. When I see your posts on my feed, I it gets my interest. I click, and because I know that it is going to be
You,
something useful. Did it help you get any like clients, any referrals or anything?
yeah, 100%. LinkedIn is maybe my best environment, tool, platform where traction happens. There is the Slack community of SmartSuite, which is the partner, the partner community. But even people will text me there. They tell me I've noticed a lot of posts. So there is some. You break the friction to talk to someone, because even if I comment or they comment, you we engage a lot of with each other's comments. You feel like you know that person. You can tag. And if I write someone on LinkedIn for some reason, uh, as if they know you. So there is no like a stranger writing. I've seen like 100 times you're posting and I'm commenting, liking, whatever. And then if I write you, kind of there is no introduction. And then we meet, and I really meet people on LinkedIn. So I mean, we schedule meetings. I met maybe not exact number, but around 300 people. Just I didn't know back before I'm on LinkedIn. So we just chatted, and then let's see what you're doing, what I'm doing. It's just a general discussion. And out of those meetings, you get an email in a few months. Someone is intro. So it's networking. My very first project was from LinkedIn. That was the exciting thing. I just posted my certificate of SmartSuite. Back then, I was the third person to get certified. So it was something, rare back then. I just posted and I got a message. That was the most amazing. And I got the project. I got my first client. It was February 2023, not so long ago.
Mhm.
So, and it has worked so well. Like I've got about 30 or 40% of my projects only LinkedIn. Like it's one third of all my leads come from LinkedIn.
What about the other percentages?
Every community which talks about no code, there is a no code ops community, an amazing community. I'm also an ambassador in that community. They have a big Discord group. I'm active there. There is the Smart Suite community, um, and we have created a Facebook group as well. So, and there are the referrals because I know the team. I'm also part of the Smart Suite team. That's the other thing, which is I do work technical support with them for a free, not free, but just for 2 hours a day. And that's because we have different time zones and their team is all in the US. So I just asked the founder, if you want to cover these time zones, I would love to join you. And the purpose was like getting paid while learning because I can't find videos anymore, which, I spent like a few thousand hours in Smart Suite. How do I learn more? By just trying to solve other people's problems while getting paid. That was the most amazing, win-win. It's a more win on my side, I think, because I'm still learning it.
Mm. So it's LinkedIn, networking, and referrals.
Every online community and referrals, yes. Because I got referred from the SmartSuite team themselves. I'm very thankful. I have a good relationship with everyone. And some of the times, clients ask SmartSuite themselves. So please refer three options, three partners you have, and they just give three options and they choose. So maybe the pricing, or you know, they just refer to us because clients ask them who can help us because this is too complicated for us to handle, or the CEO is super busy. Do you know an expert that can help you? And they just, if they mention regions, time zones, we have less options in our region. In the US it may be more competitive, but their prices also are much higher than here. So again, I have many US projects just because even if I charge like way more than I used to charge in development, but still it's more affordable than the US rate. So it's always a win to be in Armenia and to speak English, like even if it's not native, but still it has to be like fluent with them, and you don't have a problem with time zones because I do work sometimes till 10 p.m. I used to go crazy about very late, but I have the limit now, which is still a lot of time overlap with Eastern US. Like if you have 5, 6 hours of overlap, that's enough. No one is expecting you full time, and that's the flexibility, of the remote work. So
Yeah. How do you organize your day working remotely?
that's another great thing I was trying to figure out, and I have some nice tips. I don't know if people like it. So there are certain days which I take zero meetings. Something I just read on LinkedIn from someone else. The other regular things, everyone knows about distractions. I don't put my phone visible, so I don't see my phone. That's why. And it's always my phone is silent since I had it 20 years ago, so it's always silent. Some people call and then I see and I call back. So I don't pick calls because I'm working. Like, what does it mean to just be focusing on some process and then just picking up the phone? It can't happen. Other than this, I'm trying to have days dedicated to a certain thing. For example, Tuesdays are for content. So today I wrote the content of the whole week, and then we had this podcast, and then I will have the second part of the day. I will try to record the tutorial, which I'm slowly moving into video. Um, I decided to move into video. I just got two more projects. My plan was changed then, but I'm taking the steps because it's yeah, it's much more valuable than it's more lead generation than any other content format. So that's how I'm doing. Like I try to stack everything I have in Wednesday so that I meet, because I'm not productive if I have a meeting and then I have like 45 minutes just to focus on the database and complexities and to jump to another meeting. Breaking it down to 2 days. That's the trick I'm doing. I wake up now. I start to wake up like 6 a.m. I have a 2 hour session daily with the client. So, and then my kid wakes up and I have enough money in those 2 hours and enough productivity so that everyone still is sleeping. And if there is some, a lot. So one project is completed before the sun. So that's another thing. Just waking up early, killing like the difficult task, 2.5 hours till 8.5 max. And then we make breakfast. We eat breakfast with family. We move like 9:30, and I have like the difficult part of the day already done before 9. So That's something which gives you more a rewarding feeling when you just it's 10 and you're starting your second part of the day and you have done so much already, other than like some exercise, whatever else, whatever routines.
Wow.
um, it wasn't always like this, so this is something I'm trying last couple of months. And if I don't wake up 6 7, my kid will wake me up, so either way it's happening. Let it be productive.
Yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned about waking up early. I also turn off my notifications on Fridays. It's my like no call day at all so that I can concentrate and finalize
Yeah.
everything for
Try
the
to
week.
have two of those. It's super. Like 2 days without anything.
Oh,
It's
2 days. Wow, that's perfect. So,
yeah.
but I have an issue waking up early. I wake up at 10 when you have already done like most of the activities for the day, like the
Do you
difficult
have a
ones.
kid?
No, I don't.
Maybe it will change. I used to be different. You know, when he wakes up and breaks everything at 8 a.m., like you can't do that.
So
So
that's
it's different. Yeah, I mean, every 1 or 2 years, I don't know, things will change. So let's see. We
yeah.
will meet. We will meet in a few years, and you'll update like if something has changed in your schedule.
Yeah, I think you will have some tips for that situation as well, like do's and don'ts, how you organize your day with a kid, and like how you make sure they are not in your calls. Because my niece, when she visits me and when I have a call, she's like, "Oh no, turn off your camera. I want to be in this call. I want to say hi." And she's like gradually learning and adapting. Now she's really silent when I have a call and when she visits me, but at the beginning it was a total mess.
Yeah, I love the co-working concept overall. Like these co-working places now, Woods is a little bit far from, Yerevan. Well, it depends again on scale. It's not so far. It's in Gervesh. Whoever doesn't know Armenia in miles, that's like 8 or 9 miles. In the U.S., it's like neighbors.
Mm.
We think of it as another province. So. Um, and we live in Gervais, so I just wanted so badly to move to a village because remote work and this Yerevan is getting so much heavy with traffic recently, so it's like a few hundred meters away. And then even if I have like one call, and then even if it's a Saturday, I can just drive 2 minutes and be in the co-working because we're subscribed monthly, and here it's 7 days, and you have the private place.
Mm.
uh, it's affordable. We have the gym here, the healthy food. So it's a everything in one place type of center for 150 per dollars per month, which is I think an amazing price. Someone who's working online, they need to have that comfort. Let's say the meeting rooms, the 24/7 high quality internet. Um, Besides the luxuries, the snacks, the libraries, all the good parts, just for the work, it's worth it. Besides, they have all the other benefits,
Mm.
like the gym, for example. I either way had to register, but it's all in the subscription. So yeah, I spend like most of my time here. And like today, I have a lot of work. I'll pick up my kid, play with him an hour. 7 p.m. I'll be back in woods till 10. So it's like a two part. I will have that break
So would you ever consider getting back to this environment,
to office environment.
uh working from an office?
Uh, I don't want to be like so, hard on this topic because some people think the social part, some people think companies do better. For me, never. I will never. There's no option, no salary, no amount that gets me back. It's a good option for some because I had a company and people think of socialize. I understand, but we forget the work part sometimes. Like um, we had like coffee and gatherings more than work, so we don't want that. I want to be productive, and working from a co-working space is the same thing. Like I now have a few people which are like friends. We talk. It's not isolated, so it's not only remote doesn't win working from home. You can be somewhere else, and the flexibility. So I like the Lori province to be, especially in summer, the weather. And yeah, I want to be there for 5 6 days. but not take days off. So I will work, and the kid will be happy in a new environment. So the flexibility you're getting is not replaceable. And then I'm working out. My clients are outside the country, although I had one project here. So how do I go to office? Like I want to be the matching with the global market. So I want to offer services to anyone who needs. So I just live in LinkedIn. I don't do targeting locally, so it doesn't matter. Just the time zone could be challenging if you try to work New Zealand and US. The sleep cycle could be the negative. But if you manage that, and and the hours lost on the road, the traffic, the stress on the streets, all that is gone. So for me, it's not an option because this is like I'm doing what I'm doing for the U.S. market. So going to office is out of the topic, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
You talked about LinkedIn, like being really, we talked actually about being active on LinkedIn. How did you decide to be active on LinkedIn, and how did you position yourself as thought leader in this AI low code industry?
Everyone wants to generate leads, and I try to be transparent on LinkedIn. And I don't like the people who are just on LinkedIn. They want to educate, they want to change that. Yes, okay, but you want leads in the end. So, and I try to keep it as human as possible. I don't ask ChatGPT, write me a post. It was the first few times you overthink what to post. Now I'm not even reading it so that I forget a few grammar mistakes or whatever, so that they know I'm human. I'm not ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't do any grammar mistakes, and it's not interesting because they can ask the same question, and then I like AI to use AI, but just I may ask a phrase that give me another version, make it more. I sometimes I do interact with ChatGPT, but AI is much more than the regular chatbot we are talking to. Like as I said, every process. I'll give an example later for the tourism company. What AI did. It's not only about posts. So keeping it human is interesting. And the other thing I think it was very useful. Engaging with other people's content made my content also work because it's kind of like a two-way relationship. If I keep promoting other people come, they like it, they appreciate it, and then many people wrote, thanks for the engagement, let's meet. So it creates more opportunities. It's not only posting, it's like engaging with other people content. That I think that's more important. And I do repost, comment, whatever. I talk to people, and they feel like I'm supporting their job, their comment, their whatever they have posted. I'm supporting that, and I get the same in return. It's like if you do that 100 times and that person sees you posting, they feel like they have to participate because they're getting a lot in return. So it's a trade-off of networking, and then that's the reason many people have great posts and then you see no engagement because I think those guys aren't engaging with other people's posts. So it's like a two-way thing. And it's a branding game, I think. So if I keep talking about this topic for long enough, someone will see it, they will associate me with this technology, they will reach out. So we're doing marketing basics. So it's branding, everyone is doing some at some level.
Talked about commenting. I see lots of different comments, like they are like great insights, anything that LinkedIn suggests, and that's it, like great insights, because people learn that you need to make comments to stand out, to be seen. What is your advice to those people? How to be authentic?
Uh, I don't have like real deep research on this, but I have asked people like you, like other people who are in marketing, and that's a straightforward, simple answer, which the general, those comments are less powerful in terms of engagement. That's normal. So just try to write something meaningful. And I try to write a certain way of comment that is kind of not ending the conversation so that I get a reply. And then we have, if you notice, especially if it's on my post and someone is appreciating writing me a paragraph, I reply back with a little semi question that they continue, and you see like a back and forth 8 times with one person, and that creates like more engagement. Suddenly you see the same person has commented 4 times because we're doing a discussion there. So if you write a great post, maximum you will get a thanks if they reply, and the conversation ends there. So try to communicate more than just telling thanks or a thumbs up. So that's how I think. Like I comment with having in mind this has to be continued, so that I keep the people continue doing what they're doing. Yeah, and more descriptive comments. The algorithm is also smart enough. I guess the algorithm also is supporting the longer, the descriptive, the bigger comments. But these algorithms of social platforms do change. So currently it is the way. I don't know. Probably AI is reading the comments, understanding if it makes sense, and everything you do has kind of a score, like a value in some way. Every platform. And with AI now, they are much more advanced. They know if you are clicking that or you are spending time. The purpose of all these platforms, they want to keep us as long as possible on the platform. So they know if you are spending a lot of time in LinkedIn, you are a more valuable user to LinkedIn than if you're just getting in, doing a few likes, and going out.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you're favoring the algorithm, they are favoring you.
Yeah, so be active on social media, especially LinkedIn for finding a
Yeah,
job.
Mike is LinkedIn. I think people who are selling physical products, who have handmade crafts, who have even shirts customized, whatever. Probably Instagram would be the better option, but I'm not into that market. So it's more like services and services related to business and processes and technology. So the better place is LinkedIn. Facebook has been a little bit of help, but I'm not so much active. I created this group. We were a few hundred, maybe 600 members, or a little less, the Smart Suit community. So I do get some traction from there, but yeah, not compared to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the leading for our industry.
Mhm. I have two final questions for you. The first one is, if I want to get into this AI low code world, what are my first steps? Are there any platforms? Where do I begin?
Um, you think as an expert to implement for other companies, or you have a business you want to implement for your company, or you want to be the expert who consults? So, what specifically
So,
as for
as
you?
as a specialist, how do I get into AI? And then the second question was about businesses.
Okay, let me start from businesses because it will make more clear, and then it will be easier to uh, break down to the expert level. So, for businesses, I think we have steps to do before implementing AI. We don't want just to come and get overexcited with the hype of technology and just drop in AI. And yeah, it might do a few cool things, but you want to have a structure in place. So I had a client who had 50 Excel files, some information on Trello. Another part is in Google Drive with doc files. And the major workflow was done via emails. And they came out asking to implement AI. Well, okay, yes, we can implement, but it's like a broken system trying to cover it with some nice features with AI. So that's why the whole thing is workflow design. And we put aside everything. We built the system in Smart Suite. And I said, here are the 10 things humans are doing: creating an order, doing this, accepting, approving the order, whatever. And then now let's think which are the highest priorities, and let's automate and let AI do it. So starting from the bottom, just have a system set in place. That's one of the mistakes companies are doing. They're rushing to AI, but if you don't have, just kind of like you have some house which needs renovation, you just don't do the front only. You need to build the foundation, and then AI might sound interesting. Why do you need AI? they are automating and getting advice from AI. Still, they don't know where to store it. So your database is important. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just starting, kind of like AI comes in. Like if the project is 3 months, it comes in the second portion of the project, because we set the foundations, we write the processes, and the first would be human made. So they click the form, they fill the form. Now that you see how humans are doing, you see what you can automate, not the reverse. So we're not starting from the back. For experts, yes, the thing we discussed. If you want to be the consultant of the digital transformation, the process automation, you may be the technical person, you may not be the technical person, because you may understand the company processes, act as the project manager, write the documentation, have the process maps, and hire a developer, a technical person, or choose the technical route and talk to an agency. Tell, I am an expert in low code, no code. I know these tools. Do you have a vacancy? So it's kind of, it's not just one position. It could be multiple. But just not AI alone. You can learn a tool which has, for example, giving you examples might help. Like Glide is a no code tool which you build mobile apps and web apps. It's a nice tool. I haven't done so many projects with Glide, but I like what they do, and I also like Software, which Software is a German company, Armenian founders. They are doing great. So kind of they are competitors. They are front end builders, not the database. Whereas SmartSuite is more of a database tool, although their front end is also amazing, and it's getting much more amazing in the next month. So more is coming, but it will be like more a full stack both. But Glide has a certification which is Glide AI, and that's um, outside the regular certification. So you can be a Glide expert, but just for AI, they have a separate. So how to use AI. If you understand like how Glide works, you may be a Glide developer. You position yourself as a Glide expert and get this Glide AI certificate. Now that's a job role, and there's a ton of demand. And in a few months, someone can push with hard work, get the AI certificate, and if you know all these tools and then you start using AI with what I do is with Make, and then it's a little bit technical because we do API integrations. It's no code, it's not so technical, but still you have to understand the logic, not write code. It's a little bit different. And all these tools have their own certificates. So you can think of Make. The Make certification is 5 levels, and level 5 is pretty insane hard. So it's not joke. It's not like you just hang it on the wall. If you get the level 5 of Make certification, you really know Make. It's not. There are some other tools which are a little bit soft on the certification, although it's nice to have, you will get a solid foundation, but they are not enough to take complex projects as a project. So I think, yeah, choosing the right tool or experimenting as a new beginner, a few different, and then you feel like you like building apps, you like building processes, or you like building mobile or whatever you would like to build, and then you find what you like the most, because in every tool there is the direction and the implementation AI in that tool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. These are real valuable advice, and I'll make sure to share any links that you will share with me to connect with you to any resources that you will share.
Yeah,
That's
my LinkedIn or my email. I think where I can share my email.
mhm,
I have the professional email, which I'm working on a website. I've called the new agency Process Maestro, which is, I think we orchestrate processes. That's what a maestro does. So it's Vasken at processmaestro.co.
mhm,
This is the new brand I'm working on. It's
mhm,
not live yet. I had the next year, but you asked it. So yeah, you can contact me through via that email or LinkedIn.
mhm,
I do check LinkedIn multiple times a day, so no one waits for a reply.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
great.
it.
Thanks for having this interview with
Thank you
us.
too. Thanks for
Thank you.
having me. Have a great day.
You too.